Hello, and we're back again. This one should be a little short one. A little short. Oh my god. What a great start. Anyways, we're gonna do a little bit of housekeeping. Oh my god, can't hear myself. Hello, monitor? Hello? Can I hear myself? Good. We're keeping that. Anyways, so let's do a little housekeeping. Let's clean this stuff up. And then we're gonna do something with collision masks. Because here's the thing. Let me show you. Is what I noticed happening. So we can. Oh, by the way, I made a sound. Oh god, that's a bit loud. It sounds like we're sweeping the floor. Yeah, I made it on JFXR, but again, you don't need to use these sounds. You can just go on the internet and find some cool sounds. These are mostly just placeholder sounds. Anyways, let's kill this guy. Ooh. Now let's see if I can do it. See? That time? The sword was in collision with the green jelly or the green slime. There you go again and again. And it's like, why is it not? There we go. Now it did it. But why did it take so long? This one's pretty quick, right? That one was as well. And that one was as well. What was the issue with that one? And it's because of the collision masks. And I'll show you soon. But first, here's the thing. The other thing, right? When we're doing eventing, when we're creating the events and stuff, it's like a mini game. You wanna make sure that GDevelop reads as little events as possible. Because every time, every frame, GDevelop reads all the events that you have from top to bottom. If they're like this. But we can make it so that GDevelop gets here, for example, and then jumps a few. Like it goes like, oh, I don't need these. I'm gonna skip ahead and not read these. And the way we do this is with sub events. And by locking the events behind something that they have in common, so that, for example, this right here. So we got let me see. Okay, so we got these two events, right? What do they have in common? Trigger once, that's one. But they both have is on the floor, is on the floor, is on the floor. And then this one, the frame is different. And the animation is also the same thing. Moving and moving. Right? So what we can do to make GDevelop, instead of reading both of these and just one, is by taking one of the things they have in common and making this. I'm gonna make another event. All right. I clicked and then Shift A, and it did that. Sorry. So now we're gonna drag it under that event, just like that. Kind of as if we're making an event group, just like that. And now this is a main event, and these are sub events. Now, which of these is more important? I mean, we're gonna use moving for other things. The important part here is because we're doing the sound, the walking sound, the tuk 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 tuk, and we're making the puffs of smoke, right? So the important would be is on the floor. So I'm gonna grab this, put it up here, and now I'm gonna delete this one. So now, when GDevelop is reading the events, it's gonna come here, it's gonna read this one, and then when it gets here, he's not gonna read this one and then go to these two if this is not met. If we're jumping, if we're in the middle of the air, we're not on the floor. So he's gonna come here and he's gonna be like, oh, is the player on the floor? The little knight? No. Okay, then I'm going to jump these two and go to this one. And this is something we need to keep in mind for performance. Because when your game is little, performance means nothing, right? Because you're always going to get performance. Because there's so little things. There's such a little amount of stuff on the screen and moving and so on. But when your game gets real big, right, big, I know, all this stuff is gonna matter because the more you have in your game, the slower your game is gonna be. So you want to try and do cleaning like this on your events from the very beginning. Now you could be like, but you also have on the floor here. Yes, but we're gonna do something else with this one. So we're gonna close that, and you can organize even better, right? So we're gonna close that one for now, and this one's jumping. What's this one? Oh, he's moving. When he's moving, when he's not moving. Okay, this is the idle stuff, or the change in the animation. Um, you know what? We could do it even better. Check this out. I think we can. Yeah, let's try it. When he's moving, so we're gonna check. Is he moving? Because we need this, right? So we're gonna go like grab it, and we're gonna make it an even bigger sub event. So now it's gonna check. Is he moving? Yes. Okay. Change to the moving animation. And then it's gonna check. Is he on the floor? Yes. Then it's gonna do these two. But if he's not on the floor, he moves ahead. But if he gets here and he's like, is he moving? No. Okay, then it's gonna skip all of these and go to that one. So let's see if that works. It's good to keep trying because sometimes stuff makes sense in your head. Yeah, look at that. It works. Yeah. See, it looks the same. It feels the same, but it's a lot more efficient. And so again, if your game is very little, you don't need to care about this stuff. But just know that as your game gets bigger and bigger, this stuff is all going to matter, right? Okay. So what else? Um, while I'm here, let's do something about these sounds. I think they're too loud for me. That talk, 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 talk. They're gonna get on my nerves if I don't change them. If they were proper sounds, but these are like placeholder sounds. We got the random in range between 5 and 15. Oh my god, it is so low already. But let's make it 5 and 10. Okay. You know, now that I showed you the JFXR and getting the sounds, I might just go like, you know what? You've seen how that works. I'm gonna use actual sounds now from my library. A library. Um, and it'll be nicer because the sound quality makes such a big difference, especially for me. Because as I keep saying, right, I am legally blind, and by that I don't mean like I see half of what you see. I mean like I'm really, really, really blind. It's really bad. So my hearing's really good. And this kind of stuff, the nitpicky kind of stuff, man, this annoys me to the high heavens. Um, so yeah, so we got that, and then it goes to this. Like if he's not moving, he does that, and right, this is the space. So when you press space and he's on the floor, then we're gonna create the puff of smoke, right? So to jump. But because GDevelop reads from top to bottom, we want to make sure that this always happens. So there's no hiccup. Like if you start adding too many events, like you might skip a frame and suddenly we're not technically on the floor or whatever, and it's not going to do the right thing. So, and we got this one as well. If it's jumping, play a song. Check this out. This is going to be cool. I say this kind of stuff because I like this kind of part of programming, the priorities and stuff. So we're going to go on controls, on moving. And we have this control for jumping. So again, it's this thing. These things, like making the jumping sound, do do. This is the smoke. This is the sound. We only want this to happen once, and we only want this to happen when you jump, right? So I'm gonna pick it up, and I'm gonna bring it down here, and I'm gonna make it as a sub event. So when this button is pressed, it's gonna jump, and then it's gonna check. Is the little knight jumping? Trigger once. If it is, play the sound. So if this button is not being pressed, he's not reading this one. So as long as we're not jumping, GDevelop is ignoring this one. Okay? So we already saved another event. So now we're going to do this one. You're going to pick it up, and again, bring it down here. There we go. So, because again, we want it to happen when the key is pressed. So we're going to delete this one. It's a sub event. So sub events are for these to happen, this one must happen first. That's how sub events work. So we don't need the two buttons because when we press this one, it's going to do this one, then it's going to check these two. So it's already going to follow this. It's already going to do the button. He's on the floor, he's jumping. If he's on the floor, it does that. If he's jumping, then boop, it does that. Let's see if everything works. You should do. Yeah. Boop. Yeah, makes a puff of smoke. I like the sword. But my god, the whoosh, 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 whoosh. I did my best to make a sound. I like some of the sounds from JFXR, like the explosion ones and stuff, but my god, to make a good sound, like you really need to know, like do a lot of tweaking. Um so yeah, we got these ones. Could even get rid of one of these markers, and I'm gonna put it down here just to make a distinction. So now it's nicer to look at. Like I know this is like the sub event or whatever. What else? And I'm gonna take this one. Oh my god. No, cut. I wanna cut. Get rid. Get rid. And then I'm gonna split this one. Yeah. Because I don't know, it is hard for me to see like which one's on the same line because there's a sub event of a sub event of a sub event, right? So this is nicer for me. So just like this, we made our event much cleaner, much nicer. So this is a mini game that you should play every time you're doing your events. Also, with such little game, right? Because all we have is enemies that do nothing, and a character that moves, jumps, and does some puffs of smoke and creates a sword, right? Look at all the stuff. Oh my god, sorry. Look at all the stuff we have from something so little. Imagine if we weren't doing the groupings, the event groupings, right? So be sure to do your event groups. Keep things tidy from the start, because this way everything will always make sense and everything will always be tidy and you can work a lot more easily, right? Yeah. There's so many stuff from a small game. But let's move on, right? Because I really want to move on. Like we've been doing just small little things, and this is the part that takes the longest: is making the small things, the systems, creating the stuff, and then when you get to when you have all the building blocks, when you have all the Legos, right? All the pieces, then it's the fun part where you're like, oh, I'm gonna make a game, and you start like making the levels, and I don't know, it's all fun to me, really, but I don't know. Some parts are more entertaining than others, I suppose. Anyways, so we're gonna go to our little sword, and we're gonna solve the issue with collision. So the issue with collision is this: we're gonna go down there to the collision masks, and this is gonna show. All right, I'm gonna zoom out a little because there's too many pixels in my face. Right. So when you upload an animation or a sprite or whatever, GDevelop is gonna get the very first sprite that you put in, number 0, and he's gonna put a collision mask on top of it. He's gonna see like, okay, it ends here, it ends there, it ends there, and it ends there, and then he's gonna make a square or a rectangle around it. And this is the stuff that's gonna be checked for collision. This is what when it hits with an enemy, and let me show you the enemies. That's what it's gonna do. The whole, oh, if it's colliding, then delete the object. Let's see this one. And collision mask. And see? That's the rectangle. Right? It's all around. Precisely around. You can shape this. You can make it exactly the shape of your character if you want to. But this is the standard. This is what it does automatically. Right? It's missing that part. That's good. It's trying to keep as close to the character as possible. And do. Oh man. This one. I'm running out of breath from speaking too much. Then you have the red wizard. He's a wizard. And as you can tell, it's right on the edge of the character. All right, this is the automated, the default thing. So why was our sword not deleting the slime when he was colliding? Because of this. Because GDevelop only does it to the first frame and then keeps it that way. So that's where our sword starts. Then here we have the frames, we have the animation, because it's only one. We only have one. And then the frames, right? Frame number 1. Now, frame number 2, it goes up. It's already outside, but this is fine, right? We can live with this. It's a little outside. But then it smacks down. Plop. And can you see where the issue is? See, the square is still up here, and the sword is down there, which is an issue, right? If you want to hit stuff. So how do we fix this? Like if you go here, right? There's 2 ways. We could make this thing bigger so it encapsulates all of it, and that would be the easy one because we only need to make one. Or we can go frame by frame and add, for example, this one would be really big. And then when we get to this one, we could make it just here and not up there. But this happens so fast that that's too much work for nothing, right? Right. We might as well just make one big square, that takes the entire sort into account. Oh, pardon me. I'm sorry, I just had lunch. Um. Okay, so use a custom collision mask. Let's do that. Uh, did I not click it? I did. There we go. So we can even create more collision masks and all that. See, now it has the points. So I can actually just drag these points. And let's go like that so I can actually see the points. Okay, which one is that one? Okay, that one is this one. Okay, so the X is fine. It's 96, is right on the edge. So to make the point all the way down there, because we know the measurements, we know that the corner is actually 96 as well. There we go. Because this is 0 and this is 96, because it's 96 by 96, right? In this one, we're going to do the exact same thing. Is this one? Yeah. So we're just going to change that to 96. 96. Okay. Now we have a collision mask that encapsulates the entire process. And we have these two options, right? Share the same collision mask for all the animations and for all the frames. We can make custom ones, like I told you, for one for each frame. We can do custom ones, one for each animation, but we don't want this. We want to, if we turn this off, we do it custom. If we turn it on, then we share the same collision mask and stuff. And that's what we want, because this is fine. We don't need to make custom masks. And close and apply. So now, let's get that one. So now when I jump attack, it's going to hit him no matter what. See? It was much easier to hit him. Okay. There you go. As soon as he was close enough, it was like, bang. See? There you go. That was collision masks. I think that's everything I wanted to do this episode. Because I just wanted to do a little bit of thing. So next, we're going to do a fireball. I'm going to make our wizards actually shoot a fireball. That one's going to be cool, right? But I'm going to do that off screen. I'm going to make the animation. I'm still going to think how I'm going to do it. If I'm actually going to make it here or not. And yeah. And then I'll get back to this and I'll show you what I did. And how to do it. All right. Till then, I think that was all of it. We did the effects. We did the things. Collision mask. The events, we fixed them up. We did everything, right? Okay. So anyways, I'll catch you guys next time. And like I said, I'm going to start using my own sounds from now on. I think. I'm going to see how long I can live with these sounds and then maybe I'll swap to my other sounds. Anyways, right. I'll catch you guys next time. Peace.